Might have if I turn the microphone up. Hey guys, welcome to the Sunday Dev Hangout. It's been 2 weeks since the last Hangout, so there's loads to show you. Just to run through what we're going to be doing today. First of all, we'll be taking a sneak peek at patch 0.2.9, which we're hoping we should be putting out this week. Probably at the weekend, because that's when we usually like to put them out. We'll take a look ahead at some of the work that we've been doing for patch 0.2.10, as well as looking at some of the kit pieces that we've added in response to requests from the community. And we'll also be playing and taking a look at Nakia's map, which is called Stormy... what's it called? Stormy... Nakia, help me out. It's called Stormy Haven, actually. Yeah, I've got it noted down here. It's a work in progress, but it's pretty good, actually, for showing off walls. And I want to dive straight in and show you the tier 1 walls that we've added. So if you remember, up until now, we've had the tier 3 walls in, and they look like really big compared to the tier 1 buildings that we've got there. So I'm pleased to be able to share those with you today. As usual, at some point during the stream, we're going to be giving away to one lucky viewer a Steam key for Folktale. So keep tuned for the giveaway. All right, so let's have a look. Yeah, the first thing, well, I'll come to the fish. They're crazy, actually. They seem to get really large. We're in the final parts of putting it in fishing, in the fisherman profession. So that's a little bit broken at the moment. They go crazy. Okay, so typical, it's gone night time. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to build a little village first of all, and we're going to look at the fisherman's hut. So the first thing that I'm going to do, Naki's put some resources. We've got 2 stone quarries up here. So let's get our production going. Put down a couple of buildings. I'll put down a stonecutter's hut. Also accompanying this is the enlarged soundtrack. So we've added all the
building completed.
Let me think. The lava zone music, and also the first track from the desert zone.
Building completed.
Put one of those down as well.
Yup.
As usual, Aaron, who's on the program team, is in the
building
chat. So
completed.
if you've got any technical questions, I'm sure he'll be able to answer those. Oh, one thing I've noticed, you'll notice that we've started putting in building animations. This is the first one. We've actually done the cranes at the moment. It's a bit fast, and it's got some mistakes, like a really bendy rope and stuff. But the village will start to come to life. So we've got a crane up here. It won't be animated in 0.2.9, I don't think, but they're coming. We're basically going through all of the buildings and where possible putting in the animation. So they are coming. Right. So
what now?
Train up some guys, get a few more cottages on the go. What I like about Nakia's map is, as I said, there's plenty of room for building walls, and she's it's not massively cluttered, so there's plenty of open space, which is really great for building walls. Right, let's have a look at this
completed.
Fishing hut. So let's plonk it down over here. You'll notice that
completed.
in normal folktale fashion, we've tried to make the design of the building communicate the building's function. So in this case, it's the fisherman's hut, and so we've made it look like a fishing boat.
Building completed.
Let's zoom into this side. Okay. And then let's.
All right, my love.
Male and the female. Train them up, and let's just bring them around here. Shy, come on. There we go. So we've now got male and female fishermen. We've done all the animations for fishing. They're ready to go in. As I said, literally the last step to be completed is to fix the crazy fish, which are at the moment mega glitchy. At least in this map anyway. Alright, so the fishermen are coming. Now I've actually got a lot more professions to show you today. That's the stuff that's coming in 0.2.10. For the last couple of patches, we've been really engaged in trying to fix all the bugs in the nav mesh system and pathfinding. It's the most complex part of the project. For 0.2.10, we're actually going to park that for a little bit because it's in pretty good shape now. And we're going to focus on getting all of the content that is ready to be put in. So there's several professions to be put in, several new buildings to be put in. We've got to hook up the UI and putting all the stuff that's been missing there. So 0.2.10 is going to be a really good one. Okay. Now the bit that we actually want to get on with is building the walls. Now I haven't updated the icons at the moment. And forgive the mouse over saying tier 0. It's just the way that the code's set up. Okay, tier 0 buildings. What I'm going to do, let's see, let's start down here. As usual, they're going to...
We don't have enough stone to do that.
Yeah. So we're just going to do a little cheat. So we'll start them building the walls. It'll take them a while, so once they're done, we'll then go about putting down the gatehouse and the stairs. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to terminate it by building it.
We don't have enough gold to do that.
Oh, be quiet. Cheat. Okay. I'll not get it up close just yet. I'll wait until the section has been completed. And you can usually tell it's been completed because the entrance was into the towers up here. Now, while they're building these walls, one thing I should have really built some more cottages, shouldn't I? Got some more people. In fact, let's do that now. Okay. One thing that we've added for 0.2.9, which has been long overdue, is the ability to demolish wall sections and towers. I'll do that later. But if you make a mistake when you're placing something, now you'll be able to actually delete the walls. So I think a lot of people will be happy to see that in. Let's just put a gatehouse down. And we'll have some stairs here. Right, let's go and have a look. Now you'll notice that being the first level of walls, I'll just zoom around here, that's probably a bit better. They're made entirely of wood, so it's in the first sort of 30 minutes of gameplay, it's going to be really essential to get your woodcutters working and collecting all the wood that they're going to need to build all these walls. There is damage in there as well, which will get repaired. And of course you can walk on these walls as well. Now all of our guys are busy at the moment, but once they build those cottages, we'll be able to train some militia and put them up on the walls. Now, we've started production on the crossbowman units. So you'll not only be able to have your city watch up on the walls, but you'll actually be able to put crossbow units. So when, and we've talked about this before, so when you select, I don't think I've got many guys around here. When you select sort of several crossbowmen, you right click on the walls to issue a walk to command. What they'll do is they'll actually go and distribute themselves evenly along that section of wall at key points, so you don't have to manually keep positioning each one of them, and that way you'll be able to get some good coverage along wall sections. Yeah, they're going to take a long time to build these walls, aren't they? Alright, so while I'm doing that, let's go and build a section that we can then delete. So let's build it out here. Let's see. Got this section here. These walls, the goblins will scale those walls, but I think that at the moment there's a glitch, an animation glitch rather than a code glitch. So I think that they sort of climb halfway up and then they fall back down again. That's something we'll fix in time. Okay. So to delete the wall section, let's go up to the wrecking ball and delete, and you see it's left the turret, and which we can then sell separately. And there's also a little bit of camera shake there as well.
Yes, my dear? All right, dear.
Did I build a wall around there? Maybe I didn't. Okay, let's go and seal this off. Okay, there we go. We'll get some more people soon. Nakia, if you're watching, I think you're about, you've got a floating torch, which is a bit spooky. Just near this little section here. One thing I noticed actually is, I understand this is sort of like you wanted to do like a stormy haven. And in
Building completed.
This is a bit crazy what you've done here. I'd settle for sort of more traditional waves. If you look in the human village map, you'll see that there are the waves decals that you raise slightly off the surface to give you the shoreline. I'm not sure
New villagers have arrived.
Sort of stormy seas or anything like that. I guess you could put a lot more wave decals in there, and that would help.
Building completed. New villagers
Stonewood's
have arrived.
saying,
Building completed.
In terms of construction, get us scaffolding around the site. Yeah, we've discussed a similar approach. What we're doing, we're waiting, as I said before, waiting until we've got all of the buildings into the game to see what memory we've got left to play with. I mean, I would love to be able to build. I would love to be able to add construction stages to the buildings, but it just depends on what memory we've got left to play with, and also the production time, because I can't remember the exact calculation, but I think there's I don't know, 20-something buildings, and
new villagers have arrived.
So that's at least 60 pieces, and then each of those stages has another 3. So it's like 180 stages of construction. So it's an awful lot of work. That we'll have to see if we have the budget available for that.
New villagers have arrived.
All right, we're getting some villagers now.
How can I help?
Okay, yeah.
Something to do?
You guys
My pleasure. On my way.
up on the walls. Now you can also you can upgrade sections of wall as well. I think it might be
New
disabled,
villagers have arrived.
but you can also build tier 2 walls. If I run out of money, let's see if I've got some gold. And that will upgrade the tower. Now I've gone from tier 1 walls to tier 3 walls here, so normally you would have tier 2 walls, which is sort of like half stone, half wood. So visually there'll be a bit more of a marriage and transition between the two. Okay, I'll turn down the game volume. Alright, yeah, so you're just talking about scaffolding, putting scaffolding over the buildings. Yeah, that was one other approach that we considered, which would obviously be a lot quicker to implement than stages of construction. So that's definitely on the consideration list. Okay, let's get a barracks down. Okay. Some of the other stuff that we've done, I've shown delete. Oh yeah, right. One of the fixes also is the performance drop that was previously happening. So when you would drag out the wall,
Building completed.
when you would drag out the wall, if you were looking at frame rate, you'd see that the frame rate would drop considerably. We fixed that in 0.2.9, so you won't see the frame rate drop now. So that's one fix we've made. I want to get...
What's up?
Let's train a load of guys. A city watch and go out. We've added the start of the combat impact sound effects.
Ta-ta.
Okay, right. We've got 3.
Yes, Petal.
So what I'll do is I'll take
All right, my
2
love.
groups. And we'll head out. Now on the turrets, I just mentioned this because it's tier 1 walls. You can only build repeating crossbows, which I've just decided to mow down the deer. Right, I have no idea where
Really?
monsters. So let's have a look for something that looks like a feature area. Alright, this looks pretty good. How do I get in there then? I see a bridge. I see a ramp up. Alright. I guess we've got to go that way. What was that there? Macaw roads are buildable. I'll just show you this now. It's not necessarily like the final user-friendly implementation, but if I hold down the I key and then I'm able to actually, I can curve them and do all sorts of things with them. Probably not the best area to show you. Let's show you up here. So you can actually have curvy roads. Oh, I better get over here. I killed...
Right
There
away.
was a necromancer there, but we did all right. Okay, so another thing that we've implemented in 0.2.9 is looting. So previously we just added one of every inventory item, and we've removed those now. And instead, in the editor, which we'll come to, we've added the ability to define the loot profiles for chests, and then monsters at the moment will also drop default loot. So if you hover over, you'll see that the cursor, just like in the tutorial, the cursor changes from the pointer to the loot icon. So right click, and this necromancer had a paltry 50 gold on them, so we'll have that. You see that the gold's just gone up. I also see a chest here, so let's go and grab that. I guess that's a pumpkin, is it, or something? Yeah, okay, pumpkin. So that's just an icon that we need to put in. So we've got some...
Yes, my dear.
But yeah, unfortunately, there's no useful weapons dropping from these, so I need to edit the loot in those to start providing some of the gear that we need.
Okay.
The Q-Chan's asking. You can. That was just the combat effects that we've added. What we'll do is we'll take.
Ready to serve.
How can I help?
Control
Move
groups
along.
aren't implemented in Sandbox
Nothing
at the
to
moment,
see
but if
here.
we just take the militia, the City Watch. Sorry. Here we go. There's a kobold here. He didn't last long. But, oh, he's got an axe on him. So that's for the stone cutter. So we'll loot that. You can see that's now in our inventory. We'll probably need a bit more of a battle.
Something to do? Okay.
Oh, we've got another kobold there. Fishing rod.
Ready.
So yeah, the Q-Chan's asking how much does micromanaging units take in the game? I wouldn't say it's micromanaging. It's in terms of your villagers. If you find more loot, you'll be able to actually upgrade your units, and you can potentially, if you want to, upgrade the gear for all of your characters. So all of the loot we're putting in, for example, like the axes are used by the woodcutter, the halberds are used by your City Watch, crossbows will be used by your crossbowmen, warhammers by stonecutters, and you'll be able to actually upgrade those. And then each profession will have different, be able to wear different armour. So, like the City Watch will be able to wear plate, crossbowmen will wear chainmail and padded. Like your peasants and your witches and warlocks, they'll wear cloth armor, which you'll be able to craft. And different professions can craft those items. So, for example, like armor is made by the blacksmith, and cloth armor is made by the tailor, which I'll be showing you later on.
New villagers have arrived.
Yes, Petal. A woman's work is never done.
Let's grab. Right, okay, so we've got another axe. So the kobolds seem
My
really keen
pleasure.
on dropping axes, which are used by the woodcutter. Aha, right. Okay, they're a bit squishy kobolds, I guess. They're no match for my
Ready to obey.
New villagers have arrived.
poor guys. I
All right,
particularly
my
On
like
my
the,
way.
the
Ta-ta.
punching sounds. Here we go. This guy here.
Really? Okay.
Be right there, darling.
New villagers have arrived.
Okay, so we started adding in the sound
My
effects.
pleasure. What now? On my way.
Okay, so we've got a warhammer. So that's used by the stonecutters, and we've got leather gloves. So if I actually wanted to equip those, well, these are all woodcutter items mostly. So let's go and find our woodcutter.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so if we open up his inventory, let's see, we've got an even mightier axe, and I think this is probably a common axe. That's a mighty axe, so that's an upgrade. You can just equip, and then if I want him to wear gloves, I can. Now we've improved the stability of the inventory, so if you try and drop it now on an incorrect slot, it'll equip it. In a future version, we're going to implement right-clicking on an item, but there's a bug in the engine at the moment that means we can't do it. But you'll be able to right-click on an item, and that will automatically swap it with whatever's in the inventory. But we're unable to do that at the moment. We've also implemented shift-click to split piles. Okay, so it splits it in half. Do it again. So you can manage your inventory that way. And we've not implemented salvage yet, but you'll be able to actually salvage items and convert them back into like iron, stone, wood, things like that. Yeah, so there's a conversation going on in chat at the moment about some of the water pieces. So if we just go and have a look. Where's one of the corrupt pieces? So we had to change one of the tiles, which in some of your maps, there we go, I can see it there. it'll have just caused it to break. So just if you go and have a look at that, you'll find the correct pieces. It's just a matter of rotating around the tile 180 degrees, and that will close the tile. I'll also show you later, we've added in some of the missing river pieces. We'll come to that later. But yeah, this is not a bug. It's literally we've had to change one of the river tile pieces. So you just need to update your maps to address that. Okay, let's see. Splitting. The mini-map, by the way, is now fixed. We've also, if you remember, in 0.2.8, I think pretty much everything was showing its position. So now enemies are shown in red, and if they're within the fog of war, they aren't shown. And I can also click on the mini-map. So that's up and running now. And we've also fixed the flickering night windows. So if you were moving the camera around, you may have noticed that the glowing windows would flicker. It's just a small cosmetic fix. Let's drop down. Another change is that we've reduced the movement speed when you're down in the ground. So if I just go up, movement speed is quite quick. And then I'll drop down, press C, and it slows down. It was a bit too fast when you dropped down before. So now you're able to actually walk around and not zoom past your characters. And not forgetting, you can also hit the 0 key on the numpad, and that'll remove the UI. So if you want to do some screenshots. Another comment I should make is the pivot has changed on the quarry, so the quarries will shift a little bit in your map, and will need setting back. So just be aware of that. That's another small tweak that you'll need to do back. You'll also, if you're listening, you'll also hear that there's whooshing sounds now. Okay. All right. So let me just catch up on chat before we jump across to the editor and look at the new pieces and changes there. Utopia 1986 is asking, will the woods be more dense? That's really down to the designers, the map designers. So this is a map that is work in progress, designed by one of our community moderators, Nakia. So you can make them as dense as you want. You obviously need to test the performance of it, because if you put loads and loads of trees in there, that's obviously a lot of geometry that your graphics card needs to draw. So it's a balance between how many trees to put in there, and also where you want to allow walls to be built. One thing I will say is that, I mentioned before, is that we're going to be moving to a model where you'll be able to clear areas. So you'll be able to clear areas of trees, of stone, and of iron ore deposits. So if you want some more space to build, and it'll also be a way of getting hold of resources really quickly in the short term, but longer term you're going to be wanting securing some of the sustainable sources of resources, so like the quarries and the iron ore mine. Another change that we're going to make, an improvement in possibly 0.2.10 or possibly 0.11, is that we're going to aim to support building on hills, so at least quarter height hills, possibly half height. Let's see if I just find somewhere suitable. Yeah, no, maybe not there. Unfortunately, I built on all of them. So let's take it here, for example. Now, at the moment, you can only build on flat terrain. Now, flat terrain's kind of boring visually, and you know the game looks really great where we've got soft, undulating hills. But at the moment you can't build on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put raised stone platforms when required. And then that will enable you to actually build on hills. So it means that you, as map designers, you'll be able to make your maps much more interesting, and it won't block where players can build buildings. So that's going to be a big improvement. A couple of people are saying that there's some buffering going on. If you are having problems, can you just say so now in chat so I can get an idea? I know that like Sweden, for example, can have some delays. Not necessarily to do with broadband connections or anything like that. It's just seems to be Twitch. But if you are having problems, yeah, I can see a couple of people saying, but it can sometimes not be anything to do with us uploading the stream. It can be literally Twitch's distribution. Okay. As long as the stream, if the stream is okay for some people, then typically there's not much I'm going to be able to do about it. But if you miss something, we of course do publish the dev hangouts both as a highlight on Twitch, and we also transfer them to YouTube as well. So I can only apologise. There's nothing we can do about it. It's a Twitch issue. Okay, I'll just check I'm not missing anything else. Okay, Nakia, just playing through this, one thing I would, one suggestion I would make is that you should definitely make more sort of points of interest and areas of interest. So, like this kobold camp here is a good start. It gives the player, somewhere to explore. Get some chests in there. I think way more kobolds. I think there's not many in here at the moment. And also populate the world with more monsters and give us something to fight. And also think about using the wave system to get some monsters spawned to come and attack. Floating. And watch out for floating trees and torches and things. One thing I did notice actually somewhere was a tree that that one's okay. Alright, okay, so I'm going to jump across into the editor now. So just bear with me 1 second. That's actually Aaron, for some reason escape doesn't work, by the way, in this build. So I'll just have to Alt F4 out. It is a dev build, so. Another thing is that the loading time on maps has been reduced by about a third. So you should see improvement there. Let's load in. Let's load the human map because I know where it is. We've also put in a loading screen. It's just got some placeholder text in there and progress. We'll be cleaning up that at a later date and putting a nice little progress bar in there. Hello? What's... Oh, right, yeah. Editor controls are slightly different, aren't they? Right. We've made some changes, so let's go and grab under systems. Let's lock the terrain because we don't want that going off, and we'll also hide the grid on that. Let's turn grass on as well. For chests, we've now added a probability of items. So you'll see here each one of the items has got 100% chance. So if I want to say there's 20% chance. Aaron, just be aware that the percentage symbol. Aha, right, yes. Let's turn off my webcam and go back into the game. Just bear with me a second. Okay. Just bear with me, sorry. Keeps. There we go. Now I can see chat. Yeah, so there's a probability now of each item. So if you want to add in, say, I don't know, drop acts of stupidity and set I want a 20% chance, you can actually set that now. So if you want to add a bit of random variation, that's how you do that. What I wanted to show you, the first thing actually is I should probably load in a different map, because there was a community requested feature where, in fact, let's do that. I think that's a new world. Let's load that one in. Okay, so this is Alcid's map, a new world, and when he was designing it, he went about and put on all the landscaping, and then decided that he wanted to put in a shoreline, but unfortunately he had started building too low, and if we actually look at the grid underneath, there's no room to actually move and put in the shoreline. So what we've done is we've implemented a little shortcut, so which is Control Shift and U key to move, and what that does, that I'll just do it now, it moves everything up a whole. Can you see that changing? So it moves everything in your world up, and it's Control Shift D for down will move the whole lot down. So basically, if you've made a mistake and you've designed everything too low, in 0.2.9 you'll be able to shift your everything in the world up by a whole unit or down, and then that will give you enough altitude to be able to finish off your shorelines. Right. So a little useful shortcut there. Alright, the next thing I wanted to share is some of the kit pieces. So let's pull up the cemetery kit first. Let's load in the human village map. I wanted to show you that. It's quite nice with the 33% reduction in load times. I can now sort of just jump backwards forwards between maps. Now, so I've jumped into the human village map. Let's get rid of some of these, because what I actually wanted to do, and why these pieces were created, is we created some benches, so some, or pews, different ones. So we've got some wooden ones. We've also got some broken ones. Ooh. So we've got some broken stone benches. We've got a broken wood one. Yeah, that's a broken wooden one. So now if you actually want to do sort of like a spooky monastery, you can do. So we'll be able to finish that off. We've got different sizes of benches as well. So we've got the two-piece, the sort of like the full width, and we've got smaller ones. So you can have a look at those. We've got to finish the icons before we post 0.2.9. Another fix that we've done is, if you've tried, you'll notice that, I'll just get down here, the roofs weren't particularly great at snapping together, so we've introduced a couple of new roof pieces, so building roof 7. And these, if I just move that over there, if I duplicate that up, these are designed to snap together much more nicely. Okay, so we've got a couple of those pieces in there, and you see the now no holes. I'll probably move all of those over a little bit, but okay. Moving down, we've got some broken columns, so if I go to a piece of land down here, plug that one in, that one, and I guess that's meant to be stuck to a building. If I zoom around, let's go with the inspector. Okay. So we've got some columns in there, broken columns. Now I need some flat land for this. Let's move up here. So we've added in some stone pieces, so if you actually want to I guess these are designed so that you can actually create walkways. They seem to be snapped to 45 degrees. This is the first time I've actually really played with these. But it's just some slightly different raised 3D paths that you might want to put in. I'll keep going. There's quite a few pieces. Stairs, we've added a couple of different stairs variations. So if I put in like the original stairs and then if I just point out the difference. So with these stairs, you'll notice that they keep going up. And we've actually implemented a terminating one now, if I'm pretty sure that if I just zoom down here, just bear with me, I'm assuming that this will replace alright, I think it's got a different different purpose. Anyway, that piece was probably created in response to a screenshot that a member of the community posted. And when we see that, when we download all of the community maps, which we've now got a dedicated area on the Steam forums for. So if you go to community maps and video, you'll be able to download maps from other community members, have a play on those. We do that. We have a look at some of the novel ways that you're combining these props, the prop pieces. Like we've seen some nice sort of like almost like Venetian bridge walkways that I think, is that in Nels's map? I think it is. And we see that, and we can see the visual glitches that the pieces are causing, and we're able to then look at it, look at the piece and say, right, this is a really useful piece for it to create, so we'll create this and pop it in. All of the statues you've seen, although I don't know if this is in before, but we've now added a gargoyle, and let's actually go about doing that now, because there's something that I want to show you. Let's put the gargoyle in over here. Oops. So I guess I could put him on a pillar or something. But what I want to do, so I just I'll come back to him. We've got all of the statue pieces. Oh, a couple of pieces that were also requested are the concave trim pieces, which will come in useful when you're doing edging. We've also got some broken handrails. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a visual improvement. Now then, these are interesting pieces. So I'll just bring this up into the sunlight. What we've done is we've created water pieces. Now the idea is, if I just grab that and I want, if I just scroll down, I think I want the water pieces. We've created smaller pieces of water. Yep, that's the right one, so let's group that together. Let's move that down here. And then I've got a water flow piece. And we can make currently a grotesque into a gargoyle. So that's the difference between. So a statue that spouts water is called a gargoyle, and if it doesn't spout water, it's referred to as a grotesque. So if I now do that, and then we've got. Well, let's say move that down and out a little bit. Can't quite do that. Anyway, spouting water features, and there's all sorts of different pieces for that. Oh, that's interesting. We've got a half water tile. Must be a reason for that. We've got some interesting. We've got some water ripples, so I can turn those around. So if I wanted to make a bigger one, I mean, it won't fit in there. I'd have to combine a couple of pieces. But you see, basically, go play. You can create some pretty interesting features with that. I think there's another water ripple there, so that's a circular one. So if you wanted like a circular pond, you'd be able to use that. Okay, now have I missed any pieces? Aha, right, now. I think it was El Cid, or it might have been Matty101, requested. So when you're doing walls like this, rather than, you see in this case, a lot of it, if I just move it out, you only actually want this piece of the wall. All of this is kind of wasted. So what we've done is we've created wall planes. Now they'll only be viewable from one side, so you'll see here from this side, you can't see through them. But with a little bit of care, you'll be able to cut down on complex pieces. There you go. So now, instead of having a whole complex piece, we've just got a single wall unit. And we've got, I think, two different types. There's actually more than that, I'm thinking about it. So we've got the sort of mouldy green version, and then the clean stone version of that. I think there are 2x2s as well. Yep, there are there. I can see it there. Alright, so you've got 2x2. And that ultimately will potentially help with performance. I'm trying to think about that actually, because it's it'll certainly help with memory. Actually, if maybe Half-Foxel can go into just let me read this. Aaron's saying, but is saying about is recommending still using solid pieces, but the solid pieces don't have nav mesh. Unless they have nav mesh cuts on. Hang on, not those pieces. Does this piece have a nav mesh cut on it then? So when I'm referring to a nav mesh cut, if you place this object into your world, it will actually cut into the nav mesh and prevent people walking around it. So that's just a question that I'm asking. Now these pieces, they don't. I think actually they should probably still have nav mesh cut on and be the same size, because they're offset. They are technically the same size as this, so we could support that on. Anyway, we'll discuss that offline in a team meeting. But just making you aware that those pieces are coming. Okay, so that's the cemetery kits. No, this, oops. Let's go into the grasslands kit. There are a couple of pieces in here. Now they are, some of them are broken at the moment, but I'll just sort of zoom down here and show you the fish hole. Now this is the, is going to be part of the fishing. So I've shown you the fisherman's hut and the fisherman. Which we'll have a look at again later. But this is actually a shoal of fish. So, I'm just zooming there, make it a bit bigger. Hide this guy. In fact, let's just hide the UI. So the fisherman will actually come up, when we've set it up, there'll be a work point. And anywhere that there's a shoal of fish in a river, we'll set it up so at the bank, there'll be a work point, and they'll come up, come to the bank, they'll cast their rod, they'll do a bit of fishing, catch a fish, and then they'll take that back to the fisherman's hut for smoking. Okay, so that's it's fishing is almost in. We're on the very last stage of that now. Quarry stone I'm not going to put in because they're currently not set up properly, but they are extra bits of the quarry, so that if you want to integrate a quarry into the terrain a little bit more, then those pieces can be a real help there. Let's put the camera back on. Hardcore Wookie Dance is saying, what was the new swamp race stroke monster? We're not ready to reveal that just yet. Work is ongoing with the swamp kits, so that's the environment kits, which is the terrain and everything, the architecture kits, which are goblin residences and buildings, and the character kits. Now we've got a whole new race of monsters that will be ready to reveal, but we want to reveal it all at the same time, accompanied by the swamp music. And really show that in its best light. But that is being worked on right now. It's the second zone that we'll be adding, so the next stage after that, so once the sort of core mechanics and all the UI is hooked up and we've got all the economy working, is to be able to link together maps using portals. So that's one of the next steps, so that you'll be able to create a swamp map just like you did for the grasslands kit, but using all of the swamp assets. It'll be a bit foggy, so in the grassland kit you can see, you know, a hell of a good distance before the fog kicks in. It's going to be really moody, really excited about that, and hopefully within the next couple of months we'll be able to start previewing that and getting that into your hands, so you can start playing around with that. We'll push it out as soon as we think it's ready, basically, and that will be potentially before you're able to connect maps. So you're going to be able to be playing around with the pieces and creating swamp zones before you can actually connect them together. But you'll be able to connect them together at some point in a future patch. Now these pieces are broken, and I don't know if I'm. In fact, I'm going to create a new map for this. And what I want, let's move the grid off. As I said, they're broken at the moment. We've put in the missing pieces and some of the community requested water tiles as well. So this is helpful for a beach tile, which if you're active in the forums, you'll be able to see who's requested them. I guess that's the flip side. And then we've got, let's move over, the two missing I've overlapped, but let's just go over here and plonk one down there. Yeah. So the two missing river pieces. And that's bugged. So, yeah, those pieces are in there. Rogox is saying, any thoughts on adding lightning? All right, okay. Well, I guess that's with the weather. It's something that I want to explore. Certainly rain, thunder. It's probably more of an ambient sort of mood thing than a gameplay thing. So it's fairly low priority. So it's not really something that we've done much work on at this point in time. So the priority is get the economy working, get the RTS combat working, and economy work and city building. Orwood, there's no YouTube stream because the last Hangout we did was just an horrific experience for me because I was looking at 2 chat channels. It just wasn't a great experience. So, you know, we're doing more prep for the streams, and I'm also just focusing on one chat channel, which is the Twitch channel. Once the Hangout is complete, we'll then move over. I'll push the Hangout video onto YouTube so that anybody can watch it later, or if there are any pieces that you want to go over then. Right, next thing I want to show, let's go to no camera. I want to look ahead to 0.2.10, so just bear with me a second. And I've got a video for you guys. So I talked about, I'll just pause it. I talked about the new professions. Just bear with me, I want to see chat. We talked about the new professions. So we've got a lot of content that is ready to be put into the game. We've been unable to do so because NavMesh has demanded a lot of attention to make sure that it was working properly. We're now, for 0.2.10, we're going to focus on getting all of this content in. So we've actually got new professions and new buildings, which we'll take you through now. So this is the Weaver. You know, we've got male and female of every profession. So their job is to work and grow cotton buds, which they then take to their profession building, which we'll show shortly, and then they turn it that cotton bud into bolts of cotton. And then the bolts of cotton are used by the tailor, which we'll come on to later. So this is the Tier 1 Weaver's Hut that we're looking at. Very much modelled after sort of cottage industry as it started to go into the Industrial Revolution in Britain. So it's water wheel driven. This is the Tier 2, so it's the next level of upgrade. This will all be animated when we get to it and put it into the game. So this is, as I say, we're hoping to get this in for 0.2.10, and then we'll get the Tier 3 upgrade. So that's going to look pretty cool when it's animated and we've got weavers walking about the place. In terms of, right, so the next profession, this is the tailor. So they take the bolts of cotton that the weavers make and convert that into clothing. And some of the gear that they use, the tools, they've got needle and thread and thimbles, and the different levels of those. So as you find new loot or craft it, they'll be able to increase their productivity. Okay, and then the tailors hang out in the Tailor's Emporium, which we'll be showing shortly. Okay, so here we've got the Tier 1 Tailor's Emporium. So you'll notice that it's like a pin cushion in the roof, and we've got pins in there. Again, very quick visual recognition of what the building is and what its function is. There's the Tier 2 Emporium. The they're still a work in progress, so like the sign's got to be updated. And then finally the tier 3. So it's very much an economy building. So it looks a bit like a shop or an emporium. You've got the material out the front. Okay, next we've got the herbalists. So what the herbalists do is that in fields you're able to grow herbs. This is not the final icon for the herbs, but it's actually Deadly Nightshade. And they'll grow the herbs and cultivate them and then take them back to the herbalist hut, which is coming up next. And then they'll turn those into medicine, but also they can craft potions and poison as well. The hair's not finished at the moment. It's grey, but it just needs setting up so that it can be tinted. So here we've got the herbalist's hut. So we've got a little garden out the back and potions for sale. We're in the process of animating this, so wow, there's not much point in explaining it, but it's sort of cartoony. It goes poof, and well, yeah, you'll see it soon enough. Hopefully, 0.2.10. Okay, so that's the tier 2. Yeah, tier 2, and finally the tier 3 herbalist hut. And then some of the professions that we haven't yet finished creating the buildings for, we're working on. These are the merchants, so they go with the bazaar. The bazaar is being worked on at the moment, so hopefully we can get that into 0.2.10 as well. I'll be covering all of these videos. Will be available again in the next dev blog. And I believe the next one is the fisherman, which we've covered off already. But yeah, a lot of economy professions. As I say, we're working also on the crossbowman at the moment. The fisherman we covered in the 0.2.9 play earlier on in the stream. There's a lot of new professions, a lot of new characters. We've got the crossbow coming in there as well, so get some extra military units in there. So all of these goodies will be coming in the next patch. So hopefully sort of within the next 5 weeks. It's a lot of work to do to set them up and get it all working. But yeah, well, there's a lot of content. This is certainly not all of the content. There's a lot of content that's been produced that we're not able to roll out just yet. It's just looping around now, the video. You know, there are snow zone monsters and other monsters that we've created. There's all the swamp zone production that's going on. So I just really wanted to give you guys an indication of that. You know, while you see sort of content going into like patch 0.2.9, there's a lot of other tasks going off in parallel behind the scenes. That's all going to work its way into the game. These are the buildings that we've got at the moment. As I said, the work is progressing on the bazaar. There's the jeweler's shop, which I believe is also done. Just didn't have it in Trello, so I couldn't grab it to be able to share with you today. But yeah, a lot of stuff coming. A lot of new stuff to play with, and of course we're going to hopefully be able to provide some new kit pieces as well to play with. All right, I think it's giveaway time. I haven't set it up yet, so just hold your horses. That's interesting. Why is that not working? Ah, there we go. Okay, all right. So, come on. Right. So, Okay. So to enter, you guys know the score. If you want to win a Steam key for Folktale, it's exclamation mark and then enter in lowercase, all one word. So regulars to the channel will be able to type that into chat now, and you'll start to see that people entering. Just copy what they're doing. You'll all go into a part, and then we'll do a random roll, and we'll see who the winner is. Actually, let's turn off staff, admins, and moderators, because last time Aaron, who's on the development team, won. So I shall prevent that from happening. Actually, no, you'll still be able to enter, but we'll re-roll. So exclamation mark enter. We'll give it a couple of minutes. In the meantime, you can keep watching the video. We'll then do a random roll, and then the lucky winner will send a Folktale key that you redeem on Steam, and we'll send that as a private message through Twitch. So you do need a Twitch account, which to enter chat I think you'll need anyway. Okay. Everybody's entering pretty thick and fast. If you already have Folktale, that's fine. Maybe give it to a friend. If you you don't have to enter if you don't want to. And if you haven't, this is a good opportunity to grab a copy and join the community. Okay, we'll give it a couple of more minutes. So in the meantime, while the competition's up and running, any questions you've got? Our Foxel's been, which Aaron has been doing a great job in chat of answering a lot of the questions. It takes a workload off me. We've got plenty of time left on the stream, so if there's anything that you want me to run through, I'm happy to do that. I don't know if I can get the cam. Can I have the cam? No, still got the game. Okay. Okay, there's a question here that I can say. How about an idea of when the majority of the content will be done? The majority of the content. Well, it's. I mean, we're just going to keep on creating content until we get to a level of populated content that we feel that we're able to create a rich and engaging world. I can't really answer that question because it's a broad question. Obviously, the priority is to focus on the city building and the economy first, so that you will have a game that is fully playable just on one map, and then we'll start adding in and once we've refined combat and sieges and added in like the engineers traps, which is content that hopefully work its way in soon as well. We'll move on to rolling out the other zones, and with that we can implement the RPG and adventuring side of the game. And for that, it's obviously environments, architecture, monsters, loot. See, that's another whole stream that we've not shared too much of, but all of the loot weapons, they're being modeled in 3D and textured and icons produced. One thing I will, we'll just shut this down. Let's have an actual look on a website. Just bear with me a second. Oops. Okay. It's hard to see. Right. So on the website, we have been updating all of the game guide. So there's new loot items that we've put in there. Work is ongoing on those. So we've got more armor that's being added. I'm continually adding to this like a couple of times a week. It's early days, I would say, in terms of inventory items, but it'll give you a taster of where we're going. Let's go to the game guide. You'll also see we've added in the Weaver's Hut, which you've seen, and the Fisherman's Hut, and did I do the Tailors? I think I did the Tailors, yeah. So all the information is there. We're continuing populating it and adding to it as that content is produced. Professions, I need to add in. I've not added all the professions in. Here you can see the fisherman, so it's part of the fishing animation, the idle poses that we'll be adding in 0.2.9. But I don't think I've added the herbalists and things like that because they haven't had their idle poses made yet, so I can't do screen grabs of those just yet. Okay, competition time. It's time for the roll. If you haven't entered already, it's !enter. You've got a few seconds left. I'm about to do the roll. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm rolling, and the winner is Anone. Anone. Anyway, congratulations, Anone. You have won the Folktale key for Steam, and I will be sending that to you via private message after the stream has ended. Rogue Rocks is asking about t-shirts. Yeah, I've been looking into that. We've done some designs. In fact, let me have a moment. Just give me a moment, and I'll see. We have been doing some designs. Let me see if I can find them. Is that them here? Yes, right. I'll share them. So at the moment we are just sort of mocking up ideas and playing around. Ones, I'll just basically run through them. There's different designs. So we've got like sort of like the angelic holy toast, which is one of the designs. We've got just a sort of like pixelated gamey slice of toast, and nom 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 nom, and a half-bitten bit of toast, which is a favourite. Actually, this is a really good opportunity to ask you guys which ones that you like. So we'll run through the various t-shirts, and then let us know which ones that you like. If you remember, we had a bug that where you can actually in the character design you can give females beards and facial hair at the moment, so it was that was a bit of a left field one. Just some simple ones. This was like one of the necromancers, the Grim Hood, I think it was called, something like that. And we're just playing around with different sort of maybe different back treatments. This was using some of the skills, the artwork that was done from some of the special abilities, should I say. What's the different one? This, we were playing around with this, but with the logo and sort of like artwork, it's a very different look. I think we can do some cooler things than just slapping artwork on t-shirts. You know, so it's sort of like there's a sort of almost like private community joke of the holy toast and everything. So I'll just keep cycling through, but yeah, if you basically, if everybody in the stream says which their favorite is, we'll of course sort of keep producing some new designs and share those in future streams. That's the om nom 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 one. The tasty one. Just the tankard of mead. some toast, which is a bit random. Necromancer's one. Special abilities one. A little bit of like artwork. These are just sort of more templates rather than specific designs, although like the Nom 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 one. Yeah, so it's there. We're working on it. It's obviously not a priority. It's sort of something that we occasionally do at the end of the day. We'll sit down and go, yeah, okay, I've got this idea that I'd like to try. Where's the nom nom nom? Yeah. I think with the logo, we could do with like a variation of the logo that's just a stamp, which is like a white decal stamp that we can put on t-shirts, because the full color logo I'm not sure works particularly well on t-shirts. We're still playing around with that anyway, so I kind of like that. I like the colors and stuff, but I think the Om Nom Nom one's cool as well. Yeah, so anyway, back to the game. Just bear with me a second. Those. Okay, we've got some time left in the stream, so if there are any questions you guys have or anything you would like me to run over, very happy to do that. I'll just have a quick check on the time. Yeah, we're all right. We've got up to 45 minutes if we want to, but I've pretty much covered everything off that I wanted to do. I think what I will do is I'll jump back into the game. In fact, let's have some music back on as well. Let's play the desert sound. Stream, what's that one? So this music that's playing now is the first piece from the desert zone. Then we'll be working with a singer. So in terms of melody, it's not that complicated at the moment because the melody will be provided by the singer. All right, okay, this is a yeah. So this, I remember earlier on I was talking about sort of Venetian style bridges and things. So it's mapped like these that we look at to see how you combine pieces, and then we go ahead and create different pieces that will work with them. And this was this was a great way of pointing out where sort of problems were, and we were able to go and look at each instance of where a problem was occurring, and then in a lot of cases we were able to fix that. So this is actually just, it's not a map, a playable map as such. It was more for testing various bits and pieces. So that, like, this was a really interesting design. It kind of worked in terms of nav mesh, but it's not really fully set up to do that.
On my way. Ta-ta. Really?
But we're able to see how you want to design pieces, and then take those ideas and be able to work on them and make them playable in game.
Okay. My pleasure.
You're lasting into 2 kobolds.
On my way. Ta-ta. Really?
No.
Okay.
No, you can't.
My pleasure.
Rogrox is asking, any chance you could quickly show how to place any ground tile in the editor for first-time users? Yeah.
On my way.
I'll just have to jump into the editor.
Ta-ta.
So bear with me on that. Just 1 second. So let's open the grassland kit for the terrain. And let's go ahead and choose. Let's do cliffs because they're fairly straightforward. Right. So in terms of inserting objects into the world, all you need to do is just double left click on the piece that you want. Okay. You see there that it's been inserted into the world. W, E and R change the transform gizmo, so the W is move, so you can move that about. You'll see the snapped. E is rotate. Terrain tiles are snapped, so the rotation is limited to 90 degrees. And scale is R, but you can't scale terrain pieces. So when you've got a ramp piece there, then you need to then find the ramp piece that goes with it. Which just takes a little bit of time. The first time you're doing it, it does take a little bit of time to look for all the pieces. Is that going to be a tile? That's not going to be a hill tile, is it? Yeah, I want hills for this bit. Might help. It's best just to sort of dump all of the tiles. If you're a new user, just dump all of the tiles into the world and then see what fits together. So, for example, like this piece here. Move that around. So this is an example of a quarter height tile. If I just move that down, you'll get a better idea. So you can, we call it quarter height because it steps up, or it's designed to work on a quarter of a full tile height. Now a full tile height, is a full tile height. Let's go to the bottom. So that piece there is a full tile height. So quarter ones only go up so far, and then half are another step up in between. So let's find that's a quarter, that's a half. Yep, so you see the difference between a quarter and a half. Let's get the quarter out there. Okay, and there are pieces that will connect most of these together. The half tile waterfall was a piece that was added fairly recently, so perhaps we'll look at that. Goose McDucks was asking any news on dungeon teleports to void rooms. No, we won't be adding those until later. We need another kit. Well, we don't need it, but it's just there are other higher priority tasks that need to be done first. But we'll add it in time. Right, so this is the wrong ramp. So we actually want half. You can see you've got a hill quarter, and we actually want a hill half. So let's go down. Where are the hills? Right. Okay. So that's hill quarter, hill half. There we go. Oops. And if I rotate that round, you see that will then match up with that piece there. Let's move those out of the way because they don't go. Now that little section there looks like a quarter, so what we can do, there should be a bend. That's half. Is there a quarter bend? Hill quarter. Yep. Maybe that's not the piece then. Is it still a cliff? It's still a cliff, isn't it? So we want a cliff and quarter cliff with a bend. Where are they? Yeah, cliff concave. Nah, so it's a half. Alright. Is it half? Yeah. So that's a quarter tile. You can see the difference in height. So if it's a quarter tile, you actually want the half tile. So I'll delete that. And the same piece will typically be next to each other. So we can grab that. We need to move it up a little bit. Rotate it around. And you see that's then the piece that we want. And let's put the other piece in. Again, because this is a half piece, we want to find the complementing convex piece. So we'll find the half. The tiles are all named, so CLF is short for cliff, CVX is convex, CCV is concave, and then quarter, half for full are the different heights. So the names are there to give you some help. Move that one out of the way. And then if I want the quickest way, once you've got tiles in the world, Control D duplicates them, and it'll duplicate on top, and then you can just move it around. And that's by far the quickest way to work at the moment, is drop the pieces that you most likely need into the world, and then you can duplicate them up quickly. And then finally, what we want is a straight piece. Not a straight piece, just a flat piece, which is GND base. And then that's there. And then in terms of painting, you can just lock it, go to the paint tool, choose your grass. Let's just knock that down to 1. And then holding down the U key. And then you're able to actually paint the terrain. If I turn on grass, I can preview what it's going to look like with grass. And then we might want to add, I don't know, say a tree. Go down to trees, grab the oak tree. Now in terms of positioning the trees, that one's actually positioned pretty well, but it looks like the texture's being fixed as well. But you can see here that there's a very definite sort of ideal position. Alright, so already we've got quite a nice look in, adding in a couple of rocks. Boulders, well, rocks I think they're called, isn't it? Yeah. So go on a straight piece, again to insert, double left click, get a couple of variations of those. I can scale them if I want, make them bigger or smaller. I can rotate with square brackets. All of this is covered in the guide that's on the website, by the way. We've updated that to 0.2.8. I will update that again to 0.2.9 to cover all of the new features. Scale that, rotate it round, give it a little angle. Maybe put some small blocks in there. Okay. And then if I hold down I, oops, no. I can draw a path. Okay, well, there must be some nav mesh cuts in there. That's all right. There we go. Just bear with me a second. Unlock the terrain. Just delete these. Okay. Yeah, it can be a little bit steep, the learning curve at the moment. We fully recognise that. At the moment, the priority is getting all of the content and functionality in the game ready for 0.3. There are improvements that we can make to the editor to make it more user-friendly, but it's not a #1 priority at the moment. So the tools are there. They take a little bit of mastering, but we will be improving the usability of it. The only thing I can say is just literally throw all the tiles into the world and then move them around, rotate them, see how they connect together, look at some of the community design maps, and you'll get a good idea of how everything fits together. So I can grab this piece, drop it down. This was a half piece, so if we want to look for the right cliff, we want straight. Yeah, cliff STR for straight, and we want the half, so cliff straight half. Okay, and then you know that that's the right map for that. See, once you've got a few pieces in, it's very quick to be able to patch together. So I'll lock again, go to the paint tool, turn and grass, hold down the U key, and paint away like that. Now, let's have a look at those water tiles. Somebody was saying about the half-height water tiles. So let me just find them. Where are we? Just bear with me a second while I find the waterfall tiles. Are they higher up or something? Just looking for the graphic icon there. See, there's the... Ah, here we are. Right, okay. So these were half... Was that half incline or not? Let's find out. Right, this unlock the terrain. This piece we can just duplicate that one, spin it around. Yep. There isn't going to be a river piece to be able to go down this hill, so I don't think in this instance you would use it in this particular position. What we will do, let's delete that piece. We'll put a bend in, so river bend. Let me think about this. So we want curve, that one there. It's just a matter of getting your head around which piece you want, and then this piece might not exist here. In fact, it's unlikely that this piece exists. So what we need to do, you know, there are situations where you won't be able to create a specific type of terrain, so you just have to look at where you need to make changes. Let's just have a look at this piece here. Okay, that piece does exist, but it needs to just change this one here. Did that one come in? Did it? Why is that not one working? Okay, that's the wrong piece. So that was quarter, so I want a half, don't I? Is that the right piece? No, it's not. I want a convex. So I want convex. Yeah, half convex. That's what I wanted. There we go. I've got a ramp piece over there, so I can duplicate that. Just dump those down. Lock the terrain. Go to paint. Just paint it all. I don't think it's going to build particularly well on that. Okay, and then for the river piece, we want a straight piece now. So that's just lock, paint. Okay, and then I could duplicate up another piece and do all sorts of things. Okay, anything else you want me to add in there? I mean, I could go on, I could add some fencing. Oh no, let's put like an abandoned sort of caravan down there. I don't know, maybe some like crates that have fallen off. Maybe a broken one. Yeah, let's put some of those down. So some shattered wood. Maybe like some rocks to show that it lost a wheel or something. No, it's sort of fairly watery area, so maybe there's a lot of moisture. Use the half ones to stick out of the cliffs. I was actually after some fencing, wasn't I? So it's alphabetically sorted. I wanted some crates, so maybe the crates have been looted since it's been there some time. Just the height. And then there's got the fencing, so down here we could maybe pop this is a good way to learn, is just sort of mess around and create a small diorama. That's not an ideal piece. I think we actually need to change this piece, because in an ideal world you'd have a post on there. I mean, we do have the individual posts which you can just drop in like that. Yeah, and then, I don't know, let's maybe put like a lamp post. There we go, yeah. That one. Maybe want to stick it through like that. Beach with a warship. Alright, let's do that. So how far? Where's the edge? Alright, we're doing fine. So let's make this this area curve round and be our beach. So we've got our beach pieces. I'm just going to dump them down, see what we've actually got. Let's move that to there. And that is actually a piece that bends round, so that would go there. And then we want some, like a smooth slope. So yeah, water, beach straight. Rotate that round. Match up the height. Duplicate that. That piece that we've got there, which is the concave piece. Concave and convex pieces will always go together, so we could let's get another straight piece and pop that in there. Then what we need to do is think about the base of the water. Now for that, typically we just use the base tile. So where is it? Ground base. So we could keep it sort of flat, and then we could maybe start it to slope off a little bit. You know, so you can actually get deeper water. Is that the right piece to put in there? Yeah. Okay, so let's do. We'll duplicate those pieces up. I'll finish this up shortly. So put that there and that there. There, and think what piece we have. We need a convex piece, and then what we're missing is we're missing the water tile. So go down to the bottom. We want water calm. We could put the larger pieces in actually if you wanted to. I think there are like 3 by 3. Are they the big pieces? Yeah. And then we can put individual pieces. So it goes one by 1, 2 by 2. And is it 3 or 4 by 4? 4x4. Yeah, so 1x1, 2x2, and 4x4. So once you've got one piece in, you can just quickly duplicate it up. Alright, and then we want some, so let me do a quick time check. Alright, I've got 20 minutes left. So what we want to do is we want to now merge this sandy beach in with grass terrain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn off smooth edges for this, and then I'm going to have very precise control of where I want that, and then we might want a grass tile in that corner there, and a grass one there and there. Alright, and then beaches always look good with some like stones and boulders and things on it. Why did you Goose McDuck's asking also, why did you add beach pieces underneath? Because we don't have a piece with the water on it and the flat piece, because what you might want is you might want the depth. Well, you can see here the depth is very shallow up here, and then actually that's the wrong piece there, isn't it? Yeah, alright, so that's not quite correct. Alright, we'll look into that. That's obviously a mistake there. Next thing is that we want the ocean waves, so we need to look at which direction they're going, and then we need to rotate them round, and also pay attention to where they finish. So I can move that slightly up, duplicate it, rotate it round, and that's how we get our shoreline. Very quickly, a couple of boulders, so R for rocks. I just tend to, I can scale them up, but I tend to sink them below the rocks, below the beach, sorry. And then I always like a couple of sort of crates, broken crates and things, so C for crate. We could put some barrels in there. Like, that's vertically aligned, so it's always nice to sort of make it look a bit more natural by just angling it. So you could have like a smuggler's cove. Again, just sort of rotate it around and then bury it in the sand. You can add individual blades of grass if you want, so we can go and find grass. The second two are the 3D grass, so if you want, I don't know, maybe just to help blend it in a little bit better. Alright, and then we want the Goblin warship, which is under Goblin Siege. Put one of those down. And then they are designed to land on a beach, so we want to rotate that ever so slightly. Okay. There should be a way to auto-generate shore waves. I'm sure that could, but it's you know, we've got a budget to work to, and it's pretty quick to place them manually. That time's much better spent on gameplay. Alright. So, I don't know, maybe let's put a building down there. So, human buildings. I think we've got the fishermen. Might have to delete that, but Fisherman's hut. Let's just lock. Okay, we're locked on that. And there we go. Now let's turn off the grid. But it's fairly once you're familiar with the pieces, it's obviously it gets a lot quicker to work with. It's that initial learning curve that if you can get over it, then you know it becomes a lot easier to do and to make interesting maps. It's really about telling a story, though. Like think about just like I've done here. You know, we've created an area. Well, why is there a broken wagon there? You know, if there was a broken wagon, was there something on the wagon? You know, what's happened? Are they been looted? I mean, we could keep going. We could add in a little mine and tell a story there. You know, you got this fisherman's hut by the beach. Well, what does he do? What does he spend his time doing? Maybe he was attacked. The human buildings. I mean, let's see what other pieces we've got for telling a story. We've got all the construction kit pieces. So now did we add pillars? I can't remember. Like broken pillars. Might be worth getting the. I know what we can do. Let's go back to the grassland kit and let's look at the bridges, the wooden bridges. Actually, let's not use those. Let's use these ones because there's a broken bit. That one. That's interesting. That seems to be snapped to a different level. Look into that. Alright, so we've got a little dock. Yeah, quite like it already. I think it'd be nice to have like a human ship, so not just a goblin one. I'd like to add that. Then of course we can add in some monsters. We can create a spawn point. So let's do that. Oh, we're doing on time. Oh, we're gonna have to wrap up the stream, guys. But hopefully you found that interesting. We've shared a lot of content today. That's all coming in the next couple of patches. 0.2.9 should be out next weekend. And you'll be able to play around with the tier 1 walls and also fishing. And some of the new kit pieces that we've added in. So yeah, thanks for joining us on this Sunday. If you've got some time left this Sunday, have a great weekend, and we'll see you hopefully next weekend. Just a reminder, you can follow us on the channel. You can also follow us on Twitter, which is @GamesFoundry. There's the Facebook page, all sorts of places that follow us. Then there's the YouTube channel where all of these videos we upload them later today, so if you've missed anything or you want to go and look over a particular bit that maybe we went over too quickly, you'll be able to go back and look there. Alright, so thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye bye.